Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Jeff Talks Games. Today, I thought we would discuss wish lists and follows, the difference between both, and how each is important through the life cycle of your indie game on Steam. So for those of you that are watching a video of mine for the first time, I'll just discuss briefly who I am. Then we'll go over the anatomy of a wish list and a follow. And I'll end with a CTA, a call to action example that you could use in your marketing efforts. So who am I? Well, my name is Jeffrey Giasson. I started in the video game business in the year 2000 as a developer, mostly scripting, programming, designing, that type of thing. And then in 2004, I co-founded Meridian 4, which is a publishing company for games that we would bring indie games from Europe, even though indie wasn't really a term then. We'd bring games from Europe and publish them into retail into North America. Then in 2007, we launched our first game on Steam, and ever since then, we've been launching Steam pretty regularly. So with our latest release in 2020. Also in 2020, I started this channel to discuss games, indie games in particular, the business, the marketing side of it, Steam, things that I've learned over the years, questions that I get asked repeatedly. I thought, okay, well, let's start a channel and we can start a discussion around those topics that I keep hearing about. So a couple of weeks ago, I put up a poll on Twitter and I asked, wish lists, do you wish list a game, do you only follow a game, or do you do both? I wasn't surprised by the answer. Basically most people only wish list a game because that's what the call to action is asking 99% of the time. Most of the time when I see tweets, social media marketing, whatever marketing it might be, I always I see one of two things. One, I don't see any call to action, which is the worst thing you could do. Or two, I see wish list now on Steam with a link. That's obviously very good. But I think there's something missing from that, and I think it's the follow, and I'll explain why. So on every game page on Steam, if you scroll below the screenshots, you'll see an add to wishlist button, and right beside it, you'll see a follow button. I believe in your call to action, you could ask for both of these because they are right next to each other. It's not like the fan of your game, the user of the game, or the website, pardon me, will have to do extra work. They won't have to go to another place to click the follow button. They're literally right beside each other. So I think you should take advantage of that and ask for both. And I'll explain each now. So let's go over the anatomy of a wish list. So what is a Steam wish list? Well, basically, it's a link between your game and a fan that's interested in your game. Steam uses wish list as a precursor, an indicator of the success of your game. It plays heavily onto the Steam algorithm, amongst other things, but wish lists are one of the main things that you can kind of ask for, control in a way. So it's very important to ask for that. But there's other things that we could do. Let's go on. Let's move on. So why are Steam wish lists important? Well, this link, is activated at key moments in your game's life cycle. The main one being when your game releases. So every wish list that's collected, Steam will on your game's release, Steam will email those people saying your game that you wish list is now available. Go get it here with a link and etc. So obviously, the bigger your wish list number is, the more people will get that email. The more people will click on that email and hopefully do the next best thing and purchase your game. The other important thing that Steam wishlists do is if your game is on sale. Now the criteria has to be over, it has to be more than 20% off. But if it is, Steam will send another email to those people that are on your wish list that have not yet converted. They will send another email saying, hey, the game you wish list that you still haven't bought is now on sale. Go check it out. That type of thing. So how do you get wish lists? Well, at a very minimum, you always have a call to action that requests a wish list in all your marketing efforts. I've seen this many times where developers will put up, even a simple tweet saying, hey, check this out. Check out this new thing I did. But there's nothing, it looks great. It might be written very well. The GIF might be amazing, but there's no link for somebody to click on to go to the next step. You do not want somebody having to do extra work to find your game. You got to make it as simple as possible with a link, telling them what to do. That's the basics that have to be done. If they have to work to find your game on Steam, well, the chances of you losing them is very high. So next, let's talk about followers. The anatomy of a follow. It's something that, at least in my experience, from talking with devs, it's not very commonly known what a follow does. So let's go over it. So what are follows? Well, they're very similar to wish lists with one important exception. Followers are fans that are more engaged in your game. Typically, there are much fewer followers compared to wish lists. Up to 10 times less. But it's a way, unlike wish lists where you don't have any direct communication with the people on your wish list. It's very much controlled by Steam like I mentioned before, at very key trigger points, like your game releasing, your game going on sale. Follows you have a little bit more control over, and I'll explain why. So followers are important because you can actually communicate to them through your game page. So there are posts and announcements. If you have a curator homepage and your own app page, you can make announcements. And through that announcement, you could select which follower group you want to target. So let's say you have game XYZ. I have an announcement, like a new dev update, a dev log, anything really that you feel is worthy of communicating to the fans of your game. You can put up as an announcement, and you can select send it to all followers of this game, of my game, XYZ. And typically those can be the same thing that you're posting up on Twitter, but maybe with a bit more depth in it. I mean, a little tweet of something, a couple of lines it's not worthy enough of posting an announcement. But if you expand on a devlog, or if you have a blog, or even you're making YouTube videos about your game, those can be posted on your page and engage these followers. And it also makes your page look active. It makes your page look alive. So when other organic people are coming to your page, they will see this developer is on board. They're not just put a page up and forget it. They're actively involving the community, and you'll get more wish lists and follows just for that. So how do you get more followers? Well, it's quite simple, in my opinion, anyway. In all your marketing call to actions, since the follow button is literally right beside the wish list button, ask for it. Just ask the user, wish list and follow. Click on the link to wish list and follow. And I'll show you in a bit how you can use a GIF to further engage and further show the viewer of your post what to do. So very simply, you can use this marketing CTA, this marketing copy. Well, not copy, but this call to action. So you have your marketing copy, whatever it is. I got this new character, this new animation. Hey, we added this feature. Click link to wish list and follow, and then you add a link that goes right to your Steam page. You put some hashtags, maybe 3, 4, no more than 5, with a GIF. Now the GIF could be, it might be you're showing something in your game, so that would be the GIF. But maybe you want to every once in a while just have a marketing copy, say, hey guys, check out I'm working on this puzzle platformer game. Click the link below to wish list and follow. And then you can use a GIF similar to these that I found on the internet, which are pretty simple to make, but they're very eye-catching, and especially the one at the top I like with the shine going through it. That's pretty cool. But also the actual little mouse clicking really shows the person looking at your marketing what to do. So a simple GIF like this would go a long way to reinforcing both calls to action. I want a wish list and I want to follow. So to wrap it up, wish lists are very, very important for multiple reasons. One of them being that it really activates the Steam algorithm. It really gives Steam an idea how much your game is going to make. Let's be frank, how much your game is going to generate in revenue once it's released. And from that, it determines, okay, this game is essentially worth X amount of dollars. I will start placing it here and here and here. So the more that Steam gets an idea that your game can generate more and more revenue, it will start showing it in more and more places. So the wish lists are very important for that, and it also triggers an email out to everyone that's wish listed your game on release, and when the game is at least 20% off further down the road if you go into a sales cycle. But in addition to that, you ask for a follow as well, because a follow gives you a direct link to communicate with your followers. You don't know necessarily who they are. You can't call them out by name. It's not like a mailing list where you could put a tag in there and say, hey, John, blah, 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 or you can't do anything like that. But it gives you more control than a wish list, which you have basically no control over communicating with those people. At least followers, you have a way of communicating with them through your game page. And the added benefit of that is it also makes your game page look alive and active. So all the organics that are looking at your page, you're just going to naturally siphon them into your funnel to also wish list and follow. So I hope you found this valuable. If you have any comments, suggestions, anything else you'd like to see, because we can really go down the wish list rabbit hole of showing you different stats, click-through rates, conversions. We can go through all that stuff. If you'd like to see that, leave me a comment. If you'd like to learn more about strategies with following, leave me a comment. If you would like some examples of calls to action in marketing, whether it be through Twitter or whatever it is. I mean, you can always end with a call to action. Hit me up. I got my email here. You can reach me on Twitter and Discord. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that like button. That's the way you activate YouTube's algorithm. So I'd really, really appreciate it. So like I said, if you have any comments, suggestions, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much. Till the next video. Take care.